Oh crap, Kirito just died. So it's ReZero time. So what's up guys, Foxen here. Yeah, unfortunately Kirito just died. Looks like SAO is now turning into a true isekai anime series. However, will a certain blue-haired goddess or best girl come across Kirito first? But damn it, I guess best girl Armin is gonna have to do. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. At the start of this, you have Kirito suddenly forced back into the Underworld. Damn you, Johnny Black. Could it be that this was Laughing Coffin's true aim all along? Just to get Kirito back into VR to kick his ass in there? It doesn't seem like the best of ideas. So far it seems like Kirito remembers a bunch of things. Unfortunately, it also seems that Kirito has forgotten a couple of memories right from the final moments. Not much passed her after leaving the cafe with Asuna. Is this due to whatever the Laughing Coffin guy injected into him? Or is it just a Soul Translator at work again? Unlike the previous time, Kirito does have a bunch of memories from the real world, so that is a plus. It also helps that he's not a kid anymore. Imagine you just died and you're back to being 80 years old. Right here I do like Kirito trying to log out. Hey Alexa, log me out. But too bad, this time you don't even have the UI menu coming up. What a terrible VR game design. At least last time for SAO, you could actually see the logout button missing. This time, nothing, you're just screwed. Another little detail I do love for the anime was that butterfly landing on Kirito's finger. Supposedly, this is too detailed to be a VR world. It was then followed by him asking whether this was a dream or not. I'm sure you had this happen to you sometimes too. You sometimes find yourself realizing you're in a dream, although it's often hard to tell. One of the known recommended ways to check that if you're in a dream is to look at your hand. That way, you'll instantly realize whether you're in a dream or not due to the lack of details. Your hand should appear blurry. Anyway, talking about memories, it seems that Kirito started to recall Eugeo and Alice back when they were young. Even when Eugeo said hi to Kirito, that name sounded super familiar. So it seems like some weird things are going on with that memory blockage from the Soul Translator. Next up, let's talk about that demon tree, but more importantly, Eugeo. So you got Kirito meeting up best blonde buddy Eugeo again. And come on, Kirito's silly ass was trying to reach for his sword again. I guess at least this time it makes more sense than actual VR. Still, that is long gone. More importantly, Eugeo didn't seem to know Kirito at all. And from Kirito's perspective, Eugeo didn't seem like some simple NPC. Worst case scenario, Eugeo was also a player like Kirito that got his memories blocked. And I do recommend Kirito not saying weird things from the real world. Eugeo and the other guys may not be like Emilia, where they just laugh at whatever dumb thing you're saying. If anything, some of that real world nonsense may get you into trouble, especially when the church comes around. As for Kirito's current situation, he appears to be this lost child of Vector, or Vecta as they're calling him in the anime. For this, I was wondering how common this practice was, since even people of this village know about that. I mean, just think about it. Oh, what happened to Bob? Oh, Vector took him, who knows where he went. And you suddenly end up on the other side of the country. Anyway, as for Kirito's confirmation that this is a VR world, specifically the Underworld, even Kirito was able to bring up that UI prompt on his delicious rock-hard bread. Sure beats Asuna's cooking. Seriously, it's looking like the starting town of SAO all over again. By the way, Eugeo called this UI prompt the Stacia window for their world. In other words, these guys are totally used to this stuff. It'd be like being born in our world, using smartphones or the strange internet. I'm gonna have to have a video about this sooner or later, about the Underworld. As for Alice being mentioned, slowly Kirito is getting glimpses of memories of her. However, did you notice? When Eugeo made a reference to her in the events he saw back in the first half of the previous episode, notice how Eugeo only mentioned 2 of them. What happened to the third guy? No reference of young Kirito being there at all. Could it be that Eugeo is holding some information back from Kirito? Although it doesn't feel like it. Perhaps there's some mind games at play from the rulers of the Underworld. On the flip side, why did Kirito get his memories erased too? He's not from there. Although like previously mentioned, it seems like this is not perfect. A little bit later, even Eugeo brings up the fact that he feels like he's met Kirito before in the past. So it's not just Kirito that may be able to recall things from the previous life. Anyway, back to Alice. You did see her taken away by the Integrity Knight in the previous episode. Shortly after that, the small blonde was gonna get executed. However, Eugeo strongly believes she's at the central city, which is 10 days away by horse. Yo Kirito, how much money do you have starting off? Time to go Grand Theft Auto in this world and just hijack a horse. The very interesting part is that all these past memories regarding Alice don't include Kirito anymore. Also, those specific events when Alice fell into the dark territory took place 6 years ago. So let's think about that. Kirito wasn't anywhere near VR when he was 11 years old. It shouldn't have existed back then. By the way, 6 years ago. That means Eugeo and Alice, if she's alive, should be 17 now. Next up, let's talk about the demon tree, the Gigas Cedar. Eugeo goes ahead and gives a lot of information about this colossal tree. Now you get to know why they're having their little chopping sessions. Gotta bring this giant tree down so the village could actually expand. It's taking up way too many resources. Unfortunately, even 7 years later, Eugeo might as well be chopping away at it with a freaking toothpick. He's hardly made a dent. So about that whole lifetime of just chopping away at it, screw it, man. You're gonna be wasting your whole life only putting a small dent to this stupid ass tree. Hey Kirito, go ahead and save this poor asshole. Anyway, in this episode you have further talks about the Taboo Index. This time specifically about not stealing. Perhaps there's a Taboo Index here in Japan too. I mean, you often see people just leaving their phones, laptops, or even wallets in coffee shops while they're away for a good while. So it seems like some of these things regarding the Taboo Index aren't all bad. I mean, don't steal, don't go into the dark territory. Sounds like this helps keep the peace and for people to actually live longer. Anyway, as for the village guardian, my god, what a douchebag. Oh Eugeo, your ass has a pathetic job, so Kirito must be the same. They should have kicked this guy in the frickin' gonads. Although perhaps Kirito did it better. Kirito BS that his job title was swordsman. Technically true in a past life. And about Kirito's swordplay. Holy crap, you do see some light. So, turns out some sort of sword skills do exist in this underworld. Time to go find a frickin' sword and ditch that Gigas tree. Just take this dude's sword when he's asleep, although it doesn't seem to be that good. Anyway, as for the church in this village, oh, you get to meet Silica. Pretty nice to finally see her in the anime. I'm not gonna go into spoilers or details about her in this, just know she is 12. Next up, Kirito's thoughts regarding the whole event so far. Kirito doesn't see the villagers as NPCs, but they also shouldn't be people using the Soul Translator. There's just not enough of the Soul Translators enough to log all these people in. What is weird is that Kirito's conclusion seems pretty out there, that all of the people in this world are copies of newborn souls. In other words, artificial floodlights that were raised in the underworld. If that's really the case, this is now starting to blur the lines between what's human and what's AI. A newborn raised in the VR world doesn't sound like AI you're familiar with, like Siri or Alexa. Kirito even brings up the flood-like acceleration. Previously, he was told that this was only 3 times the speed, although some things just don't add up. By the way, at the end of the episode, you have a nice surprise with the end shot of the tower. A certain sleepy lady shown too. Oh, so much fun stuff is coming up. Overall, it seems like my joke about this being similar to Konosuba or ReZero wasn't too far off. Kirito is literally starting from zero. The question is Kirito gonna get screwed over like Kazuma, or perhaps be a little better off like Subaru? Although arguably, Kazuma ended up way better off as the story progresses. For Kirito, instead of a blue demon maid or a super useful water goddess, Kirito got himself a blonde dude. So yeah, things already don't look too good. Kirito basically also doesn't have any starting equipment. Next up, let me bring up the animation for this episode. I'm sorry, but now I'm finding myself looking for low quality shots. And I have to get back to you on that. Still looking. One of the things I am liking so far is how Alicization sometimes shift into this more stylized animation, which adds emphasis to certain scenes. A good example is Kirito starting to recall Alice. They could have easily shown a regular Alice with a blur effect. Instead, you got this more bright and colorful, almost sketch-like scene of hers. A very nice touch to this was the missing details that shows Kirito partially recalling her. Anyway, as for the ending for this episode, finally have that. And yes, you have Eri returning to sing the ending song. I'm gonna have to be honest about this. Compared to the opening and some of her other SAO songs, this one was just alright. Nothing too special. Who knows, perhaps it'll grow on me. I don't think the ending had anything outstanding in terms of visuals, although I do appreciate the ending focusing on Eugeo. I bet the next one's gonna focus on Alice. It looks like Eugeo has felt this lifetime guilt of what happened years back with young Alice. Also nice to see that this ending wasn't all still images. By the way, really quickly, let me mention, I am working on a changes video for SAO Alicization episode 1. Definitely like and subscribe and set up notifications so you don't miss that. I'm hoping enough of you are interested so I could continue doing these weekly. Oh, and this first video is going to be pretty long, almost 25 minutes. Anyway, as for some of the SAO Season 3 promotion going on here in Japan that I promised. First off, in Akihabara, Tokyo, you can see the Alicization trio plastered on the windows. Right here, they're also having some promotions selling a bunch of stuff for SAO Season 3 goodies. They even have some of the stuff from the recent SAO spin-off. It's mostly stuff like bags, keychains, cups, pens, buttons, pillows, and stuff like that. Notably, SAO Season 3 is being heavily promoted with the new Index anime series. I believe that's also airing right now. I haven't gotten a chance to see it, I've just been way too busy. Might be time to start soon. This past weekend, there was also the Denki magazine event being held at Akihabara, Tokyo. Of course, SAO Season 3 was heavily promoted there. They showed off some of the upcoming SAO figures, Alice included. Even GGO Yuki made an appearance. Unfortunately, no signs of best blonde guy Eugeo just yet. I definitely love seeing the Asuna cosplay that they had up. Oh, and you could imagine how popular she was. Also got a chance to get in line to get a couple of pictures of her. I then came back 2 hours later and she was still posing there. There was also supposed to be an Alice cosplayer there earlier, but I didn't get a chance to see her in person. By the way, there is still a bit more SAO promotion coming up. I've just been super busy working on videos daily, so I haven't been able to check it out. I'll include the rest of this stuff in the next video, and hope you enjoyed seeing this stuff. But anyway, more important, let me hear from you now. Question of the day. How are you liking SAO Season 3 so far? Especially Eugeo. What do you think happened to Kirito? Did he really die? Do you think he went to the Konosuba or ReZero world? Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I put out 5+ anime videos here every week. That now includes weekly SAO videos. Light Novel Change videos coming up for the first episode too. Also, the Attack on Titan Season 3's supposed final episode is tomorrow. So hit bell notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.